Excellencies, distinguished speakers and guests, and peace builders around the world. One of the most wonderful things has happened is that this morning, with the extraordinary wisdom that was given in the General Assembly by all of the distinguished speakers, is that I had the opportunity to tear up my speech, which is both unnerving and also quite wonderful. And one of the thoughts that came to mind is to offer in this moment an opportunity to say that with this very first high-level forum brought forward by the President of the General Assembly on the culture of peace is the very first time that this has ever occurred. And it also is connected with the high-level forum that is occurring with UNESCO next week, as well as with the 30th anniversary, the 30th annual International Day of Peace, which is 1 week from today, September 21st. And so at this moment, I realized that what we are at this really remarkable opportunity where there is this concerted consciousness and focus on the culture of peace. Not only utilizing our consciousness, but also all forms of media that are convergent at this particular time within this focalizing point here at the United Nations. And I wanted to begin with a couple of, I'm going to end up with some thoughts about this 30th Annual Peace Day as a point of action, concerted action for all of us. But I was asked by one of my colleagues to say something about what inspired me about the culture of peace and why this is so important. And there's a couple of quotes I'm going to read from you because I've had senior moments, so I don't remember this sort of thing. And this is from Nicholas Roerich, who great philosopher and statesman, who put forward an idea about a pax cultura, a culture of peace, and a peace pact between World War I and II, so that peace would become obsolete, and there would no longer be the solving of differences through violent means. We have a ways to go. Anyway, here is this quote that inspired me 50 years ago. Where there is peace, there is culture. Where there is culture, there is peace. Positive creativeness is the fundamental quality of the human spirit. Let us welcome all those who, surmounting personal difficulties, propel their spirits to the task of peace building, thus ensuring a radiant future. A second point of inspiration that was so marvelous was when UNESCO came forward with the whole focus point on a culture of peace, and within Secretary, Director General of UNESCO, our very esteemed Federico Mayor, with whom it has been a privilege to work in the past. There's a particular quote from him that has quite great significance. And he said in an off-the-hand interview with UNESCO Press Report, "We need to build not only geographical but spiritual bridges between people and strengthen the intellectual, cultural, and communication linkages between our societies. Let us stand ready to participate in the effort to promote social integration and thereby create a culture of peace." And you've heard very much today about why we need to give extraordinary focus, attention on the expansion of the awareness of and implementation of the Declaration and Program of Action for a Culture of Peace. It is really time, and we've heard that consistently through not only this morning, but the call to action from all of our speakers this morning. And Federico Mayor particularly pointed to that in his remarks this morning. So part of what I realized is why I had to tear up my speech is because I really want to hear from the rest of the panelists. And it's very important we hear from everyone here present because there's so much collective wisdom here. And also to be aware that this entire day is being webcast around the world, so we are sitting really within a global community. So on this 30th annual Peace Day, it is an opportunity, as it says in the Declaration and the unanimous resolution that established the International Day of Peace in 1981 at the General Assembly, to dedicate ourselves to peace above all differences of any kind. That is really our purpose within humanity. And that when we realize that we are one humanity and one planet and all of that, this is an opportunity for us to not only review our personal planetary progress toward building a culture of peace on the International Day of Peace, but to recommit ourselves at all levels, individually and on a planetary basis, to building a culture of peace for the common good and for future generations. So with that in mind, this upcoming Peace Day, a small call to action is, please let us all do this, individually, personally, and planetarily, not only to commit ourselves to doing whatever we can and even greater ability to foster a culture of peace, but also to remember that acting in concert, we do make a difference in the quality of our lives, our institutions, our environment, and our planetary future. Through cooperation, we manifest the essential spirit that unites us in its diverse ways.